Hi, this video is going to go through two things. The technical names for them are data validation and conditional formatting. Basically, data validation is going to enter a pick list into a cell so that you will get a little drop down on a cell where you can select from a list instead of having to key in. That enables you to make your data more consistent. So in this instance, what we're going to do, we've got all of these lists of chocolate bars here. In this column, I want to enter the name of the brand. These are the three brands that I've got to choose from, but I don't want somebody to be able to just type in anything they like into that cell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add data validation to those cells to restrict what can be entered. So what I'm going to do is going to highlight all of those cells where I want the data validation to go. From the data ribbon, I'm going to select data validation. On the settings tab, I'm going to select a list. And then here, it wants to know where my list is. So my list, I can just type back into the spreadsheet and highlight these three cells. So it's G3 to G5 makes up the list. So if I just click OK, you'll notice on every cell there that I just highlighted, we've now got a drop down, a little pick list. And if we click that, you can see that we can select now from Cadbury's, Mars or Nestle. So Twirl is Cadbury's, Mars, Snickers is Mars, Cadbury's, Maltesers are Mars, and then Nestle. Okay, so just dead simple, been able to add those in now. If we just typed in something random, it wouldn't have let us because it's set so that you can only enter something off that list. So we'd have to put something off the list, so it keeps your data really consistent. So that's very simply how to put in a pick list. The next thing we might want to do is these colours that I've set on these particular brands, we might want to change the colour of these cells as we select the different brands to be the same. And that function is called conditional formatting. So what we're going to do is highlight all of the cells where we want to apply the conditional formatting. In fact, there's two ways we can do it. I'll do it the easy way first. So first of all, I'm just going to apply the conditional formatting to this one cell. So just highlight that one cell to start with. In the Home ribbon, go to Conditional Formatting, into Manage Rules, and select a new rule. Here I can select this rule to format cells that contain, and then I can format the cells based on their cell value or all of these different options. So in this instance, we want to change where the cell value is equal to, and here we want it to say if it's equal to, and we might as well point it to cell G3 just in case that changes. And then, so that's our rule. Here is the format that it will apply if it matches that rule. So in fill, I'm going to make the cell fill purple, and in font, I'm going to make the colour of the font white. So that's a preview of how the data is going to look if it matches our criteria. So if I click OK, then that's our rule. If I just click OK on that, you'll see that it's now been applied, but it's only been applied to that one cell because it's the only one that we've selected so far. If we go back into conditional formatting and go into manage rules, you'll see there's our Cadbury's rule. We can also add to this another rule. So we'll do exactly the same thing, format cells that contain a cell value equal to, and then in here we could say that equals Mars, which is in G4. And then we can apply that formatting, so it's red font and the fill is black. Do OK, so there's a sample of what it's going to look like. We can click OK, so now you can see we've got two rules. So we might as well apply the third one while we're here. So cell value equal to, and we'll do the G5 for Nestle. And then the format is going to be red fill and a white font. Okay, so it's now going to apply all of those rules, but again, just to that one cell. So if I was to amend from the pick list and choose Mars, it automatically changes the format. Okay, so put it back to Cadbury's. So what we can now do is we can copy into all of these cells, and we can use paste special, and we actually want to copy the formats, just the formats to keep the values the same. So the way we just applied that conditional formatting, it's now applied to just this column. So it's not going to change the whole row, it's just going to change this column only. What we could have done instead, if I just undo all of that, so I've just now removed all that conditional formatting, we could apply that conditional formatting so it'll change both of these cells. So by highlighting both of them and going into conditional formatting, we'll choose a new rule, format cells that contain. So we can't actually do format cells because we want this cell value to change but dependent on the value in this cell. So it's not going to be based on the actual cell value anymore, so we can't use this rule type, so we'll have to use a formula. So the formula is going to be equals, and then we'll click on C3, and then it's if C3 is equal to, and then we can click on G3. So if C3 is equal to G3 is going to be our rule. Now we have a little problem here because it's applied these dollars, which applies fixed cell references. So we always want it to be G3, but we want the C3 to update. So as we copy the formula down, we want it to always look at column C, but not necessarily row 3. So if I just delete that dollar from there, then that's what we need it to do. We can now apply the format. So white font, purple fill, and we'll do OK. And OK. So as we come out of there, you can see that both cells change colour. So if we change it to Mars, there's no format because we haven't applied it for Mars yet. So we'll leave it back on Cadbury's, highlight both again, go back into conditional formatting and manage rules. We'll add a new rule. So this is going to be for Mars. So it's going to be the same thing, equals C3 equal to, and Mars. We will delete that second dollar out of there, and then we'll just select the format. So it's going to be a black font, black fill and red font. And then we'll add a new rule for Nestle. So that's going to be C3 is equal to our Nestle rule in G5. Delete that little dollar out of there, into format, and it's going to be white font and red fill. OK. So now as we amend the brand, it changes both cells, and then we can literally just copy and paste special formats again, which will apply that to all of the rows. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. Thank you.